Hey, everybody, welcome to this edition of Turnaround Marriage. Really excited to talk about something that people don't want to think or talk about too much that often, which is conflict. Conflict is no fun, let's face it. And isn't it true that in this season, Christmas season, the end of the year, things are busier? The kids are out of school, but seem to be busier than ever. And it sure seems like conflict is inevitable. Conflict in your home and conflict in your marriage, and it seems like it's just kind of like there's more time together, the kids are around, there's a lot going on, there's crazy uncles that are there and all kinds of things that are happening that keep things complicated, right? And the thing is about conflict, we usually see that there's two primary ways that people deal with conflict. One, they're like the ones that just want to deal with it. And while that's a good idea that they might want to deal with it, sometimes it's just like, we're going to argue this out. We're going to get to the bottom of this. And they can sometimes deal with it in a way that is just a full frontal assault and not necessarily in a winsome way that's going to make things to be able to navigate that together. And then the other way that people tend to deal with that is they tend to avoid. It's like, oh, I want peace. I just don't want that conflict. I just don't want to have to deal with that. And really, there's the feelings around it too, like feeling like I'm a failure. And sometimes when we're Christians, it's almost can feel like, if you're like, I tend to be this way. It can tend to feel like, I'm this spiritual failure, right? That's what it feels like if we're having conflict. But what if it could be something different? And that's what I want to talk about just for a few moments today. And actually, I have an exciting announcement that I want to hit on before we finish. But guys, here's the facts of the matter. If we don't deal with conflict in the proper way, whether it's one of those two extremes or something in between, usually it's a combination of those. And oftentimes they're men and women, they tend to have different looks to that as well. And in the context of marriage, usually, not always, but usually one tends to be one tends to be the other. But here's the thing. If we deal with conflict in a proper way, it can actually be the springboard of connection. Like when a couple learns how to navigate conflict in a way that it's like we're not only just forgiving each other, but really getting common understanding and being able to get on board as a team to get through that, not only get through it, but to get that common understanding where they're feeling like we did that. We got through that together. And here's the thing. I was talking to one of our amazing clients today, amazing couple, and they were sharing with me that for just a couple months ago, they came to us and it was like there was a lot of arguing. And they realized that they're still having some conflict, but they're able to navigate that in just a few minutes or hours and not days and days. And as we talked about it, what we really uncovered was that they would often go days and weeks of everybody being miserable. And it wasn't just the two of them that were miserable. It was also their girls that were suffering too. Everybody was suffering. And as they learned how to navigate conflict in a really positive way, they noticed that not only were they able to do so in a much quicker way, but they were doing so as a team, and it was building a sense of teamwork between the two of them. How amazing is that? And so the truth is, when they're able to navigate that in a better way, that everything else begins to click too, in terms of feeling like this is, we're doing what we're supposed to be doing spiritually. And like, how can you work well if there's all this behind the scenes conflict? And they're noticing that even in the, for work, things are just seeming to click a little bit better. And isn't that interesting? Because here's the facts, guys. Things can be different. What if even after years and years of there just being underlying conflict after conflict after conflict, what if there could be a different way? Because in our culture now, we hear it all the time still, like COVID just drove the wedge between us, or something that happened, we lost a loved one, or we had a financial ruin, financial fallout, or financial pressure, or something happened with the family. And that was the reason that they believe that there is a problem between the two of them. But I would submit most of the time it isn't even that. It isn't just that there's conflict, because conflict's inevitable. Conflict's inevitable in life. It's the conflict itself isn't the problem. It's they didn't navigate that conflict or that problem together as a team. That really is the key, a sense of teamwork. So if you're able to do that as a team and do things differently, not allowing yourself just be triggered, not just giving in to the ways that you've done things before, but actually finding different patterns, different ways personally and as a couple, when you do that, everything can actually change quite quickly. And I'm really excited because some of you are out there tonight and you're thinking, okay, that sounds great. There is conflict though, and we don't know how to navigate that. What I want to suggest to you is we are going to be launching really in just a few weeks on January 11th, a workshop. This is only the second time we've ever done this, turning conflict around. This is usually $580, and we're making it available for $100 if you sign up before the 31st of December. This would be a great gift for the both of you for Christmas, or even if it's just one of you. Make use of that. Dive in. We're going to dive in this call, and we're going to equip you with many of the things that were so helpful for that power couple I was just sharing with you about, so that you can begin to shift things both personally and as a couple very, very quickly, so that you can turn conflict around from something that isn't just something that you wanted to avoid, but something in some way that you can actually begin to look forward to, because you know that the fruit of what's going to happen is when you navigate that together, it's going to build a sense of teamwork. You're going to feel accomplished. You're going to feel like you're doing things right before the Lord. And it's going to start to shift things in such a way that it's like, this is amazing. It's going to be a one-night impactful event. Again, Thursday, January 11th. It's going to be at 8 p.m. Eastern time, 5 p.m. Pacific. And you can check out all those times. And it's available at turnaroundmarriage.com/workshop. Check that out. Sign up tonight. Spots are limited, and we look forward to having you guys on that call. Once you sign up, we'll send you the info right beforehand, and look forward to having that virtual workshop that could be the difference between suffering and actually navigating conflict as a team. How incredible could that be? So turnaroundmarriage.com/workshop. And some of you out there, if you're thinking, my goodness, I could use their help in general. We've got a couple slots left, a couple breakthrough calls. If you're looking for that left in 2023. But our goal for all of you that are listening tonight is that 2024 could be an entirely better, different year than 2023. Lots of love, my friends. Let's